Here's a deep and extensive review of the discussion on First Take regarding LeBron James' decision to pull out of the NBA All-Star Game at the last minute. The conversation, led by Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, and Kendrick Perkins, centers around the controversial absence of LeBron James from the All-Star Game, with a particularly harsh critique of the way he handled his withdrawal. The panelists argue that LeBron's decision to announce his absence so late was selfish and deprived another deserving player of the opportunity to participate. This sentiment is reinforced multiple times throughout the discussion, with all three analysts, especially Stephen A. Dont, expressing frustration over what they perceive as poor handling of the situation. One of the key points raised is that LeBron could have easily informed the NBA earlier that he wouldn't be playing, allowing Commissioner Adam Silver to select a replacement. By waiting until the last moment, he essentially blocked someone else, such as Norman Powell, from earning an All-Star nod. The argument is not just about the absence itself, but about the lack of consideration for other players. Anticipating that his injury might prevent him from playing, LeBron could have stepped aside earlier, ensuring a smoother process for roster adjustments. This aspect of the debate highlights the broader issue of NBA politics versus player performance, as the conversation later shifts towards how all-star selections sometimes favor reputation over actual season performance. Stephen A. Smith, in his usual animated fashion, takes the criticism even further by holding LeBron responsible for the decline of the NBA's slam dunk contest. While this is a separate issue, Smith's argument is that LeBron's decisions over the years have contributed to changes in NBA culture that prioritize player control over fan expectations. His assertion that LeBron cheated the game by not participating in the dunk contest earlier in his career aligns with his frustration over the All-Star Game situation. He implies that LeBron's actions, whether intentional or not, send a message to the league and fans that certain aspects of the game are less important than they once were. Beyond the critique of LeBron, the discussion also touches on the larger problem of how the NBA balances politics and performance in selecting All-Stars. Stephen A. and Perkins argue that players like Norman Powell, who have had outstanding seasons, should be recognized more fairly, rather than relying on legacy picks like LeBron or Steph Curry. This leads to a broader debate about whether the All-Star Game truly represents the best players of the season, or if it has become more of a brand-driven event. The conversation suggests that the NBA needs to reassess how it handles both injury replacements and the overall selection process. In conclusion, the segment strongly criticizes LeBron for his last-minute withdrawal and questions his motivations. The panelists agree that while LeBron has earned his legacy, this particular decision was a misstep that could have been handled far better. They also use this incident as a springboard to discuss deeper issues within the NBA, particularly how selections are made and whether the game still prioritizes true performance over name recognition. While their tone is sometimes exaggerated for entertainment purposes, their points resonate with a legitimate concern about how major NBA events are structured and the responsibility that superstar players hold in shaping the league's culture.